They didn't fear our weapons. They didn't fear our fleets. They didn't even fear our world. They feared nothing about us. Because to the Galactic Empire, rulers of 1,000 star systems, humanity was a footnote in cosmic history. Primitive, divided, fragile, weak. They branded us insignificant. They were wrong. The Galactic Empire arrived without warning, no diplomatic envoys, no first contact protocols, no cautious orbiting ships studying us from afar. They arrived in a blinding wall of obsidian warships that swallowed half the sky. It was ZOO 3710 UTC when Earth's satellites began to fail. Astronomers were the first to notice the distortion. Gravitational anomalies tearing through near-Earth orbit. Telescopes showed shapes that defied physics, vast angular vessels blotting out stars, their hulls shimmering with energy fields that rippled like liquid night. Within minutes, global communications shattered. EMP bursts cascaded through the upper atmosphere like a silent apocalypse. Power grids flickered and died. Military networks froze. Air traffic collapsed into chaos. And then the transmission came. Every screen on Earth ignited simultaneously. Televisions, phones, digital billboards, aircraft cockpit displays. A face appeared, not human, not machine, something between, tall, angular, crowned in a halo of burning stellar plasma. Its eyes radiated cold, ancient authority. Its voice vibrated through bone. "We are the sovereign dominion of the Galactic Empire. You inhabit a world rich in strategic resources. Your civilization lacks defensive viability. You will submit." There was no malice. That was the terrifying part. It was routine. We were routine. Within hours, their fleet established orbital supremacy. Missile systems failed before launch. Fighter jets disintegrated in midair, torn apart by invisible gravitational shears. Nuclear silos were disabled with surgical precision. Humanity's proudest weapons were rendered obsolete in seconds. They did not destroy our cities. They did not need to. Instead, they deployed massive solar collectors, gargantuan structures encircling our sun, machines the size of continents. They began siphoning energy directly from our star. Global temperatures shifted. Solar radiation fluctuated. Agricultural systems faltered. It was slow, deliberate, calculated. They weren't conquering us. They were harvesting around us, as if we were insects living beneath a construction site. A second transmission followed. Your species exhibits emotional volatility and internal division. Historical conflict index catastrophic. Unified planetary governance non-existent. Threat assessment minimal. They had studied us, our wars, our politics, our fractures. To them, weakness wasn't physical. It was psychological. They believed we would collapse without firing a single shot. And at first, they were right. Markets imploded. Governments fractured. Some nations attempted retaliation. Entire fleets vanished in silent flashes of blue light. Riots spread across continents. Faith leaders called it judgment. Scientists called it extinction. Social media dissolved into hysteria before the networks died completely. We were facing a hyper-advanced alien empire with technology thousands of years beyond ours. And we were arguing. Humanity's greatest enemy was no longer the empire. It was ourselves. But something unexpected happened. In the darkness left by fallen satellites and shattered governments, ordinary people began to organize. Engineers, astronomers, former soldiers, programmers, teachers. They formed encrypted networks using analog signals. They bypassed digital infrastructure entirely. They called themselves the Resolve. The Galactic Empire believed intelligence was measured in uniformity. They believed strength came from hierarchy. They believed unity required control. But humanity had something different: chaotic innovation, improvised brilliance, unpredictable defiance. The resolve discovered something critical: the Empire's energy siphons destabilize solar magnetic cycles, small fluctuations, microscopic anomalies, but anomalies nonetheless. Humanity had spent centuries studying our sun. The Empire had merely harnessed it. There is a difference. We built something in secret. Not a weapon of destruction. A weapon of disruption. A planetary scale resonance array assembled from dismantled radio telescopes, abandoned satellites, decommissioned military radar systems, and repurposed fusion reactors. It wasn't elegant. It wasn't symmetrical. It was human. And it was brilliant. The day we activated the array, the sky shimmered. Solar flares erupted, not natural but amplified. The resonance array injected harmonic instability into the siphon network. The Empire's collectors began feeding on chaotic energy spikes. Their pristine machines trembled, then overloaded. One by one, the colossal structures fractured. Massive arcs of plasma surged across space like cosmic lightning. The Empire had underestimated our understanding of our own star. And then something truly shocking happened. We didn't stop. The resolve transmitted a message directly into the Empire's command frequency, piggybacking on the same resonance waves. You called us weak. You measured our past conflicts. You calculated our divisions. You missed the variable you cannot quantify. We adapt. For the first time, their response was delayed. Then, unexpected resistance acknowledged. Recalibrating. Their fleet shifted formation. Weapons powered. We had wounded them. Now they would end us. Humanity had one final move. Hidden beneath Antarctica, deep within the ice, lay Project Helios, an experimental gravitational research facility abandoned decades earlier. It had failed. At least, that's what the records said. The resolve knew better. The core still existed. If overloaded, it could create a localized space-time distortion large enough to disrupt orbital fleets. It would also destabilize Earth's magnetic field temporarily. Massive risk. Catastrophic potential. Certain sacrifice. Volunteers stepped forward from every continent. Engineers stayed behind to manually regulate the overload. There was no escape shuttle, no backup plan. When the Empire's weapons ignited, Project Helios activated. The sky cracked, literally cracked. Auroras engulfed the planet in violent ribbons of green and violet flame. Space around Earth warped like liquid glass. Empire warships lost formation, their gravity anchors failing. Several collapsed inward, crushed by their own mass fields. Others fled beyond the distortion perimeter. For the first time in recorded Imperial history, they retreated. The fleet pulled back beyond lunar orbit. Their final transmission came hours later. The same entity, but different, less certain. Your species exhibits anomalous resilience. Casualty projections exceed acceptable thresholds. Resource extraction suspended. Classification updated. A pause. You are no longer weak. And then they were gone. Not destroyed. Not defeated completely. But forced to withdraw. Humanity had not conquered the Galactic Empire. We had done something far more powerful. We had forced them to reconsider us. Months later, deep space probes detected something astonishing. The Empire had not erased our data from their network. They had archived it, highlighted it, flagged Earth as a high adaptation civilization. Across the galaxy, other subjugated worlds began receiving fragments of our broadcast. Our defiance spread. The Empire had inadvertently created a symbol. Us, humanity, the species they branded weak, the species that defied their sons. Because weakness is often a miscalculation. Because unity forged in crisis is stronger than unity enforced by control. Because resilience is a weapon no empire can quantify. And because the greatest mistake a tyrant can make is underestimating those they seek to dominate. If this story ignited something inside you, If you believe resilience defeats oppression. If you believe humanity's greatest strength is our unstoppable resolve. Then, like this story to show your support. Comment WER not me K if you would stand with the resolve. Subscribe for more epic sci-fi stories of rebellion, galactic empires, and humanity's rise among the stars. And share this with someone who needs a reminder that underestimation is the spark of revolution. Because the next empire watching from the dark, they're still calculating us, and we're still adapting.